Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And here I have a great article for you guys from fortune.com. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So I just found out some interesting news. So last year, I made a video, and AT&T made it very clear, even prior to that, that eventually the hybrid work was no longer going to work, and everybody was going to have to come back to the office 5 days a week. But for those of you who remember, even prior to that, AT&T started consolidating and closing some of their headquarters or other buildings across the U.S. Atlanta, Chicago, St. Louis. They were consolidating, and in some of those areas, I've been told, those employees were given the option to relocate back to Dallas. Well, in a sense, right, AT&T may have been trying to call those people's bluffs, right? Thinking, they're not going to relocate. They're not going to come. They're just going to quit. They're going to find work elsewhere. Well, it sounds like that has backfired on AT&T. So as of the 6th, everybody has been asked to return back to the office, and that's exactly what everyone's doing. So now it's turning into a mess. People are having a hard time finding parking at HQ, where the employees are actually getting charged like $50 bi-weekly to pay for parking, and there is no guarantee that there'll be parking because there's too many employees and not enough spaces. AT&T could have fixed this like 6 months ago or started the process 6 months ago to have this ready by now, but it's not ready. So what are those employees having to do that are already paying $50 every check? They're having to find parking at a public spot and pay again. So this is just turning into a disaster for AT&T. Inside the building, the already existing employees that have been working at the HQ, they all have their office spaces. Employees that have relocated, they have no office space, so now they're sitting on the floor. So there's literally AT&T employees that are walking in the morning to their office, and they're seeing AT&T employees sitting on the floor trying to get their work done. Allegedly, I have been told, there have been reports at one of the Atlanta offices, employees have started fighting in the parking lot over parking space. So this has turned into a mess. And AT&T, I don't know, I have not been told the solution, how they plan on fixing it. But it looks like, right, AT&T didn't want to pay out that large of a severance package because it probably would have been thousands and thousands of employees that they would have had to lay off for the ones that they were consolidating. So they're either looking to quit, for those employees to quit, or perhaps hope that they perform so poorly that they have rights for termination. Right? And if that doesn't work, maybe they just have to lay them off anyway. That's how many employees are coming to the headquarters. And maybe they rent some space somewhere else close by, or maybe in the same building there's additional space, office space, that they can rent for those employees. But when they're looking to cut expenses, I don't know if they're going to take on that additional expense. And then what happens, they lay off those employees, and then the existing employee has to take on more work, and that's going to stress them out. So it's just an SOL situation, right? Shit out of luck. It's just a lose-lose for the employee. Some of the employees are going to be rebellious. They're going to say, "Hey, look, I couldn't do my work because look at the environment." And then they can no longer work at home. So it's just a shitty situation to be in. So it's a bad environment right now. A lot of employees aren't happy. I've been told the cafeteria that AT&T has at HQ is a convenience factor. They raised that by $3 So now I'm being told it's cheaper to eat out elsewhere. It's cheaper to go to Chick-fil-A, which is crazy. Chick-fil-A is expensive, and it's cheaper to eat there than to eat at the cafeteria. So it sounds like a mess. I don't think the mainstream media has caught on to it yet. I don't think, employees have reached out anonymously. So we'll see how this develops. We'll see if Stanky or Miguel Fresh will be asked publicly on this matter to see how they plan to fix this. But for now, for the first few days, everybody back to the office, it's a total shit show. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.